Can you hear it? Beneath the static, beneath the outrage, beneath the endless scroll, there's a signal. The signal that cuts through the noise.
Every new day.
MTV.
Red pill mornings, blue screen nights, everybody selling truth under neon lights.
The screens got smarter, the people got tired, the experts got louder, the trust expired, the matrix got upgraded, the code stayed the same. Everybody wants the spotlight, nobody wants to blame. Fight Club in the comments, network on repeat, where it's mad as hell but still glued to our seats. The usual suspects keep selling the show, while the people in the middle just want to know. 1984 calling, brave new world smiling, one sells fear, one sells comfort, both keep you compliant.
The signal remains.
MTV remains. MTV raw,
Real, rational.
the signal that cuts through the noise. MTV raw,
Real, rational.
and stream live. Obey signs in the distance, the billboards still glow. The messages are hidden in the places we know. American psycho business apocalypse now. Pace, fear and loathing headlines written all over the place. Falling down traffic, everybody's late. Trying to keep their balance in the permanent state of updates of outrage of manufactured trends. Y2K never ended, it just changed its name. Now we're all online inside a different game.
Every new day, it starts again.
The bird is the word.
Don't push us.
We've already got the edge. Remember the dial-up tone?
Remember the chat rooms?
Remember when the internet,
Still felt like the future.
before the bots, before the brands,
Before every moment.
became content?
Before the algorithm feed.
From dancing baby gifs to doom scrolling feeds, from message boards and modems to algorithm needs. The memes got sharper, the jokes got strange. The world's moving faster, but the questions remain. Cold War ghosts, digital dreams, attention merchants selling tomorrow's schemes. Who's writing the script? Who's pulling the strings? Who's selling tomorrow and who's buying these things?
MTV asks the questions.
MTV keeps the signal alive.
The X-Files were warning us. The truth stayed hidden still. Now the aliens trend weekly between another culture war drill. Idiocracy laughing from the cheap seats again, while common sense gets fact-checked by a panel of 10.
MTV remembers.
MTV asks why.
Not the end of the world.
The end of the illusion.
The signal remains.
MTV remains.
Every new day.
Pump up the volume.
MTV,
MTV.
raw, real, rational.
The signal remains.
The bird is the word.
Pump up the volume.
And stream live.
We are live.
We are live.
We are live.
I've been muted, yes. Welcome to the ENDstream. I'm Bird, your host. Thankfully, you haven't heard any of the mess ups I did. Anyhow, hopefully you've cooled down a bit after this heat wave across Europe. For those who are still going through it with the heat down in the south, well, my commiserations, and hopefully you can find ways to chill and cool yourselves. It's important to keep hydrated. Some good news coming up. I think in the next weekend, myself and my co-host Edge, we will be doing a test chill stream. That means it's not the regular type of stream that you've seen from myself or Edge during the week. It's more both of us, and it'll run for longer. It'll be maybe between 3 to 4 hours even, so you can always tune in anytime, and it'll be on Saturday, much later in the evening. So for those who are maybe stumbling in drunk from a long night of drinking, or if you just want to have a chill out evening, then tune in. We will report on that as well next week and tell you the exact times for that. So just so you know, please subscribe if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, check out some of the other videos. Let me put that there. No, I can't stand this app. No, that's not the way. Here we go. Okay. So yes, we're on YouTube. We're always improving, trying to do our best, always trying to fight the algorithm. Yeah, we are simultaneously streaming across Rumble and Kick. So check us out there too. The numbers count, if you use those platforms as well. And all our social media links are in the description below. Instagram, X, and of course our currently still open to the public, the Discord community, which we want to grow with interesting people and have active conversations and other sort of exclusive stuff, because it'll go private at some point. So yeah, just to let you know that here for in NTV, myself, Edge, and I speak for ourselves. This is a disclaimer for those who don't have a capacity for discernment. We do not uphold any political position, left or right. We've been saying that since day one, and we still will excessively say that, I would say. And that's because we don't believe in the black and white framework conditioned upon us by society and by the establishment. We also don't push any narrative or agenda, nor do we report or do anything for the special interest of other parties or third parties. We are completely independent and individually minded. So when you hear people say independent media, we are actually independent media. It's myself, Edge, and a small crew and team of very talented people and good-natured people who all believe in the same message, which is trying to report on things and deliver information across to the broader perspective of the online world, who are frustrated and fed up, and from a humane angle and from a rational perspective. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Right, let me share the, hold on a second. We're gonna get right into the headlines today of what's been happening. I have to do that again. So we start first with Germany. Nope, that's not the one. Yep. Germany's Merz announces sweeping reforms, tax cuts, pension overhaul, and a new sick leave rules. So yeah, let's listen first, and we'll talk about it. This came about recently. It popped up on the newsfeed, and it kind of got swept under the rug a bit, but interesting nonetheless. So let's listen to this report. This is from Euronews.
Germany's ruling coalition has agreed on sweeping tax, labor, and pensions reforms, a breakthrough after 7 hours of talks aimed at getting the...
Why isn't there any sound here? Interesting. Hold on a second.
Germany's ruling coalition has agreed on sweeping tax, labor, and pensions reforms, a breakthrough after 7 hours of talks aimed at getting the country's sluggish economy back on track.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
The package includes income tax cuts worth 10 billion euros to be financed by higher taxes on those earning more than 250,000 euros a year. Changes to the pension system will eventually see the retirement age rise past 67, and the right of employees to get a sick note by telephone will be scrapped with the aim of reducing worker absentee days. Since taking office just over a year ago, Merz's coalition has become deeply unpopular, in part because of perceptions that it has squabbled but so far achieved little.
Wir wissen, Sie, meine Damen und Herren, die Bürgerinnen und Bürger unseres Landes, wollen Entscheidungen und sie wollen keinen Streit. Und genau das
Well, that's
haben wir
rich. I don't
geliefert.
want conflict.
Aber wir
Really.
geben auch eine Bitte an Sie weiter.
Well, as long as you
Machen
guys
Sie
hear, I
mit,
can't hear. I think it's because I
Unterstützen
shared
Sie uns
without
bei den jetzt
putting audio for
notwendigen
myself.
Reformen. Wir wissen, dass Sie alle in der Mitte unserer Gesellschaft die Zeichen der Zeit erkannt haben. Ich nehme in der Öffentlichkeit eine enorme Bereitschaft wahr, die Stagnation hinter uns zu lassen und jetzt einen neuen Aufbruch zu wagen.
Let's just remind ourselves who was the main creator of that stagnation. That came from up top. That's what instigated the stagnation in industry, in jobs, in the economy. Let's not forget, because they try to make us forget, like we have amnesia all of a sudden. All of a sudden, everybody has amnesia of those 3 years that just disappeared like that, between 2020 and 2023. That was the lockdown years, remember? That all of a sudden was the biggest issue. And then all of a sudden, it's just swept under the rug. No, that was a big deal. And we are all still feeling the reverberations of that, even 3-4 years onwards,
Unser Land kann mehr und unser Land will mehr.
The government
Your country wants jobs. Your country wants actual domestic safety. Your country wants insurance policies that they can actually earn and live and buy food and afford energy, and that they can put their kids through college, and that their kids can get jobs, and that they can actually have peace of mind. That's what your country wants, but that's not what you want to provide them. That's the problem.
is also keen to show it can get to grips with the country's problems and to diminish the appeal of the far-right Alternative for Germany, which has been topping national opinion polls for months ahead of key regional elections.
Okay, well, that's it. Well, and that's the back and forth ping pong game of the left and the right? Because, it's like, this is just more left-wing policies of redistribution. So it's not even tackling the case at hand. It's more about the migrants, immigration. Sorry, it's more about giving incentives to big business. I'm not against big business, but big business that actually redistributes the wealth across the land, meaning making new jobs, but not big corporations that just want to exploit the tax breaks and then just do whatever they want to do and rise above the law. And then what do the people get out of it? Nothing. And we've seen that with Amazon. We've seen that with Musk as well. So, yeah, I'm going to try to reshare this because I think I messed up there. Hold on. So we have something else here. Also share the tab audio. Yeah, I don't understand why it doesn't work. So this comes from, we have also on ground news a bit more about this, where Germany looks to ban calling in sick. Hold on. And would require doctor's notes immediately. So on Thursday, July 2nd, Chancellor Friedrich Merz, as you heard, he was announcing plans to abolish phone-based sick notes, requiring employees to obtain in-person medical certificates from the first day of illness. So he's defended this policy because he's citing that Germany's average of 15 sick days annually as a competitive disadvantage, harming the nation's sluggish economy. Oh no, the sluggish economy isn't because of other factors that the government has incurred. It's just because the people are getting sick. Because yeah, sure, that didn't seem to be a problem before under the whole COVID incident. So in basically the overview of all of this is just that this was a plan that was announced to tighten sick leave rules and the broader economic reform package. And so under this proposal, you would require to provide a doctor's certificate from the very first day of illness. That might be complicated, especially if you have an emergency. So that's not always the case. But I do understand that to some extent, because in other countries, they do require you to, at least provide it by end of day or something like this. But I do think there should be some willingness to afford a person 1 to 2 days or 1 to 3 days at the very least. And I don't understand that if you can do like a virtual consultation with a doctor, why can't the doctor just send the sick note as well virtually? This is what I can't. Someone make sense, or someone make it make sense to me, because I don't get it. we're still using paper, and then they're all going crazy about like, oh no, we have to save paper, you know. So well, then just make virtual referrals, virtual sick notes, and what do you call those things when you have to go to the pharmacy? Just send a virtual thing. Just send it to the pharmacy immediately. So you just go there with your card and then get the thing. What's all this paperwork anyway? So this is due to Germany's high levels of absenteeism, which are hurting productivity and competitiveness. So critics say that this is including doctors, associations, and unions, and they warn the changes could overwhelm GP practices and make genuinely ill people visit clinics unnecessarily. Well, given my situation currently with health, and those who know me, it's not been a fun ride. Because the healthcare system, and we're going to make a video about this, is in dire need of, well, I would say reform, but I think it needs a complete reset, just like the justice system, just like the police force, so many of these things that, you know, people are always raising criticism about, but nothing gets done. Well, I'm sorry, but it's just, it's ridiculous. I had the unfortunate situation of being in a hospital in the emergency because I was trying just to get seen for a situation I'm currently going through, which I'm not going to say publicly, but it was something out of what you would expect from, I hate to say it, but in another country, not in a Western, rich, wealthy nation. It was absolutely deplorable. And the worst thing I saw, which I've heard about, and you've all heard about it too, in multiple services for the elderly, for children, you know, police force, etc. But this is the first time I saw it, and I've heard about it, but I did see abuse towards a patient. Now, it wasn't extreme abuse, but it was basically manhandling of the patient. Just because the patient was a bit annoying, it doesn't afford the right of a nurse whose duty is to care, you know? And I saw them handling them very roughly. And in my eyes, that's abusive. That's not correct. I don't care. Then don't be a nurse. If you don't know how to maintain calm and de-escalate a situation, don't be a police officer. If you don't know how to care for a person appropriately, don't go into the medical profession. It's not complicated. And I keep getting comments and people who think they know everything and saying, it's not because of incompetency, it's because that's what they want to make you think. No, it is incompetency because we have middle managers and executives in positions where they shouldn't be, making the choices and decisions which are incompetent. If you want to make the changes, get rid of the management, first of all. They're not doing anything correctly. It should be strike one, you're out. Why do you have kiddie fiddlers still working into schools and into services for children? And why are we seeing abuse of people taking care of elderly? I mean, this is nonsense. If you do a background check and you see that this person has a track record, one time is enough. They should be banned for life from working in that field. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple. And if for me, it's that simple, but for others, it's not, then, you know, you should take a good, long, hard look in the mirror because I don't get it. Anyway. Moving on to other headlines here. We have a video, which I'll probably not be able to hear as well. Maybe I think I have to share the whole, let's go back into full. I think I have to do the whole application. Yeah, hold on. So I'm already getting riled up. So here we go. We have to start from the beginning here. So this was sent to me because this is still going on. And I just wanted to clarify about this. Oh, Lord. Hold on a second. Right. This is still going on about Ubi Bowl. And I can't hear it still. Weird. Okay. Anyway. Well, this is technically incorrect as well. And you can't hear it, right? No, nobody can hear it. Oh God. Hold on, guys. Sorry about this. I don't know what's going on. I'm working through.
Oh my God! Wow!
Like that. All right. So we'll start from the beginning. Sorry, folks.
Europe is now banning movies.
Is it now
Yes,
working?
yes, just like in Nazi Germany. Germany has decided
I can't.
that this film that I'm about to show you the trailer of cannot be seen by the citizens of Germany because it might incite violence. Unlike all other violent films, this one has a bit of a political message, and let's see if you can figure it out before we even get to the trailer. Oh boy.
The truth is this.
All right, there's a lot to unpack here because this is the problem. Everything she's saying is absolutely just wrong. It's not informed. But anyway,
You are all being used.
Oh yeah.
The vigilante citizen is delivering a brand of justice that some believe the authorities have failed to provide, targeting both criminals and those in power accused of allowing.
yes. All right. Now I told you. Okay. I've been talking to nobody. Right. All right. Let's rewind here. We're getting a lot of technical issues. I apologize, folks. What I wanted to get into is basically just quickly about Uwe Boll's citizen vigilante. So this video, the TikTok video, it's part of a widespread confusion surrounding it. And this is Uwe Boll's film Citizen Vigilante, where he's proclaimed that it's been banned in Germany, and so have other people like Elon Musk and others. However, it's much more nuanced. Things are not that black and white. And no, it has not been banned. So the Germany's film rating system, the FSK, has refused to issue the movie an age classification. So this is no different than when you've heard of a movie called unrated. Okay, if it's unrated, it means it hasn't been provided a rating. Now, what does that mean? So the FSK didn't provide an age classification or a rating because it cited concerns over violence against migrants and racism. Now, there's a reason to that. We'll get into that right after, but this is usually the case for unrated movies because of violence or it's just too much, etc. It's not commercially viable in the eyes of that rating board, right? In Germany. And so because of that, it cannot be legally commercialized through distribution of major streaming platforms or normal retail channels or across cinemas. It doesn't mean that it's banned or censored. There's plenty of unrated movies that have always been seen. So it's still in Germany. It's not been outlawed or criminalized, contrary to what they're claiming. It can still be legally imported. It can still be downloaded. It can be viewed. You can even do a personal screening, whatever. It just can't be through those commercial means. And so, of course, that's going to piss off Uwe Boll, because Uwe Boll considers this censorship. Surprise, surprise. You know, when it hurts Uwe Boll's pockets, then it's everything. And so because the movie, which I watched, and I couldn't bear to watch it because it's not good, because of the content of that movie, that's why it's unrated. This is not unlike any other movie that's been unrated, okay? For graphic, sexual, violent, anything. And here's the thing. The point is, in the German legal context, Germany does not ban controversial films because they are, this is official, you can look it up, they are offensive or politically incorrect. However, under German criminal law and the FSK film classification system, works that intentionally incite hatred, glorify or encourage violence, of which this film does, and I'll get to that in a second, or promote unconstitutional or racist ideology may be refused classification. So even though some people will jump onto the fact that the movie is presenting a case for an actual issue that does happen, you know, a lot of people who have been affected from crimes, unfortunately, by migrants, that doesn't devalue the fact that we shouldn't simply split things in half, okay? Yes, there has been a case where maybe many people have not been heard because of crimes perpetuated from migrants. However, at the same time, this movie is not delivering that message across correctly. This movie is literally, from the get-go, about a rich American white guy in Germany who starts taking matters into his own hands to kill off and attack and get rid of the migrant evil. I mean, it's just brutal to that extent. There's no nuance. There's not even the fact of, oh, maybe there's a good migrant guy, you know? And this, I have to say, if you don't want to listen to this because you're like, yeah, and don't want it, like you whatever, go for it. I don't care. Then you know what? Just piss off. You're a perfect person for this movie. But the reality is, Uwe Boll released another movie the year before, which I mentioned in the last stream, called Run, and that was much more nuanced. And guess what? It wasn't. It was rated. You know why? Because it was also about the migrant issue in Italy. You know, the coming through the boats, but it showed all the perspectives. I give you another example: American History X. It's a very heavily loaded film that's violent and it's about neo-Nazis. But there's a message. There's a whole thing about it. You know, you can make movies about these things, but you have to take into consideration that it's not just a glorification. And in this case, this is just pure excessive glorification of, you know, violence and very racist in many ways. So if you even believe that, oh, Bird's just, you know, he's just saying this to obfuscate the actual issue. No, I'm not. That's Uwe Boll's fault. Go talk to him because that's what he did. He obfuscated the actual issue because he just created a glorification of this. Yes, there is a lesson at the end of, someone says, there's a lesson at the end of American History X, like the end of He-Man and Thundercat. So anyway, the fact of the matter, folks, is when we go here, are we there? Yeah, we're there. The vigilante thriller, as you see with this post, which Elon Musk boosted, and they were claiming you only have 48 hours to watch before it's banned. No, it's not banned. No, these are all lies. And I'm sorry, we have to say the real deal here. It's just unrated. It's just not commercially viable. So everyone can watch it. Stop lying that Germany tried to bury it, because then we could say the same about any other country which has tried to bury multiple films because they're just unrated. Cannibal Holocaust, look into that movie. It's very extreme, okay? It was actually the founder of found footage cinema, if you look at it, because it's actually what inspired Blair Witch. But that's such an extreme movie. Even to this day, it's very graphic. It was also unrated. They couldn't rate it because they didn't believe it was commercially viable. So hold on a second. You are muted. Everyone's telling me I'm muted. Yeah, okay, thanks, guys. I know. I know I'm muted now. I was muted. Anyway, so I just wanted to clarify that because it was getting on my nerves, because the problem is people continuously promote, fake news or these type of things, and it's to rile you up. It's to get a reaction. So, and I don't agree with that. I think it's wrong, and it has the wrong intentions and motives. So going on to another headline, as you know, it was July the 4th. Happy Independence Day to all Americans, our American viewers. I have nothing against the United States, being an American myself. I just have a lot to quibble about things. Well, here we go. We're going to Hello. All right. Are we back? What is going on? So the stream didn't end. It still kept going? Yeah, we just saw color bars. That's the thing. Oh, man. We'll fix it. Anyway, this is what the live stream's all about, guys. It's all spontaneous. Everything just crashed. I don't know why. Crazy. I'm just getting set up with our next topic here in our headlines. Apologies to Elon, liar, pants on fire. Well, Elon basically, to that comment, I just want to say, Elon's only interested in basically, wait, let me go back here. He's only interested in whatever reinforces his position and his ideas. So he just latched onto this because he's like, oh, it's a movie about, the white guy, who, by the way, is a rich white guy in this movie, an American, Armie Hammer. He has some controversy, but we won't get into that. And it's taking the matter of like migrant crime and murder and all these horrible things. So of course, like Elon Musk is just going to latch onto that, but he's not going to look into it. And then of course the other factor, because Elon Musk is a arbiter of freedom of speech, which I call cap and hypocrisy, and I'll tell you why very quickly. And so for him, it's like, oh, Germany is banning freedom of speech. No, it's not. I mean, there are maybe other reasons you could say it is to a certain degree, but not with this. This is just a false story. This is just ridiculous hype. And Uwe Boll is just riding the wave because he knows that he's going to get a lot more views. And this is what happens online all the time. It's just these ridiculous hype trains over nothing burgers and just ridiculous excuses to politicize whatever a form of content, in this case, this movie, which is actually a really bad movie anyway. So yeah, and what was I going to say about it? I was going to talk about something about the Elon Musk. Oh yeah, and also Elon Musk is actually a big proponent of the AfD here in Germany. So of course he's going to use whatever incentive he is going to take to push his political ideals across. And I'm not trying to be on a hate train with Elon Musk altogether, but the point is, this is the same guy who backed Trump and then all of a sudden was highly critical of Trump and then started like lambasting him. And by the way, accusing him of the whole being connected with Epstein and whatever. And here's my thing. If you willingly knew that, Mr. Musk, which by the way, you also had some deals with Mr. Epstein, and then you're just like tweeting it across, X, what does that make you? It makes you just as bad. You're not like all of a sudden this savior because you just exposed Trump being connected to that when you already knew. So give me a break, dude. And also the other thing, freedom of speech, being an arbiter of freedom of speech. Look, you say that it's either all free speech or nothing. Well, I get that. And I'm all for that too. But then why didn't you allow Alex Jones back onto X? Oh, because you couldn't accept what he said about kids and stuff. Let me tell you something about Alex Jones. I don't care if you agree or disagree. What he was alleged to have done and what it was done to him has been so much more than anything compared to many other content creators and streamers and other people out there. I can give you names from Hassan Piker to Andrew Tate to whatever. What was done to Alex Jones was unpersoned, okay? So don't come to me and then claim that, because of what he talked about children, which, give me a break, he didn't. And this is ridiculous. The fact that, and then he eventually let him back onto X. But it's still just, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that anymore, but let's go into this other thing. I wanted to say happy 4th of July to our American friends. I'm American myself. We're not against American people or any other people. We have criticism about the regimes and the policies and the governments and certain people, right? But not the nationals. Here we go. So there's this video that came out from Black Rifle Coffee I wanted to go into because obviously it was the 4th of July. Here? No, you can't hear. Hey,
a fate which will live in infamy. That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Anyway, okay. So the reason I wanted to reference is this: there's a bit of an irony to Black Rifle Coffee, which has been a big supporter of a lot of conservative libertarian creators and businesses, etc. And the thing about this video, I think, is a good example of the problem with the U.S. With in terms of the rest of the world, because this video purposely presents this loud and triumphant, self-celebrating ideal, guns, flags, engines, military imagery, freedom. That's always being the case. Freedom, and it's presented in this entertaining perspective. And if you look across any other American, a lot of American content creators, this is always the thing. This is the thing that they always push. America is number one. It is the best country in the world, etc. I mean, how many times have you heard that before? So on one level, it's clearly meant as exaggerated patriotic, comedy, but to many viewers, myself included, and I'm an American, it captures really something of a deep disconnect of a country celebrating itself with absolute confidence, while being tied at the same time to the world's economic crises, foreign policy disasters, military interventions, and cultural tensions. You can't be parading yourself. And don't get me wrong, I think you should celebrate your independence. Everyone should. But this is the part of the problem. This is, the optics of this from a foreign perspective and how the rest of the world looks at the U.S. The rest of the world does not look at the U.S. as the U.S. believes that everybody wants to come here. That's the people who want to go there are the people who are actually the most unfortunate, who have the least of nothing. That doesn't constitute the whole world, by the way, USA. There's a lot of people who manage to get by. When you go traveling to other countries and you see those people getting by their everyday life, those people don't necessarily want to go to the US. Okay, they're happy there. So stop imagining that everybody wants to come to the US. No, it's the same with Europe as a continent. Everybody wants to come to Europe because of the opportunities, and those are the people with the least. They have nothing. All right, in many cases. You also have those people who are trying to get into to exploit. Yeah, of course. I don't want to make that redundant. But the point being is that the criticism is not only that Americans are patriotic, it's that this kind of performative patriotism, it looks self-unaware, and the U.S. power has had such a direct impact on the rest of the world. The whole world police idea, that while the quality of life inside the U.S. itself remains deeply unequal and politically unstable, which we have seen. This has created this insecurity amongst the ordinary people. So this performance of just, number one, rah, 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 great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good things about the United States, but there's a lot of bad things too. And it's just, there's no nuance, as I said before. So I think this is why outside there's this attitude towards Americans in general, because they see them as brash, loud, and I think it's okay to be proud and happy of your culture, of your country, although I don't really care about those things. But there's a way to do it. And United States has not been very good at this for a while. I'd say even since maybe the 80s, it's not been good at it. And this is why we get a lot of blowback, and why there's a lot of anti-American sentiment that gets spread. And it's unfortunate, especially for Americans, I'd say, because there's a lot of Americans who don't deserve to be discriminated against or judged because of this jingoistic ideal. So yeah, finally for the headlines, before I get into more topics, how are we doing for time? I'm just asking my co-host. I did that already, but it doesn't work. We have something else to get into, which is Pete Hegseth. The Pentagon wants to give AI the ability. Oh wait, I need someone. Yeah, the Pentagon wants to give the AI the ability to kill people without human oversight. So these reports that claim that Pete Hegseth is pressuring Anthropic to strip safeguards from Claude and has set a deadline to compliance. So this is a major confrontation that has emerged between the U.S. Pentagon and the AI company Anthropic. That's the company that produced Claude. Reports claim Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth demanded the company remove Claude's military use safeguards, specifically restrictions preventing domestic mass surveillance and fully autonomous weapons, and issued a deadline for compliance. Anthropic refused, arguing those safeguards are fundamental ethical boundaries. Well, ironic that the AI company is actually pushing back. The dispute has been escalated into a broader legal and political battle over who ultimately controls frontier AI, governments or the companies building it. Well, this is the problem, folks. I don't fear AI personally, as much as the big power players want us to. Myself and Edge, we're going to get into a discussion of this on the Chill stream. That'll be next weekend because we want to get into all sorts of interesting topics. But I'm not afraid. I've never been afraid. I'm not against AI. I see it as a tool. I see it as an assist. It can be very practical and beneficial. My problem is the power players, the big dogs, the authority figures, because they want AI to control for themselves and exploit it to do what they want. Now, that's what I fear. I fear the human, not the AI. But they've been perpetuating this idea, since Terminator and all this. If AI gains super intelligence and it gets out there, we're all fucked. No, I don't believe that. That doesn't make sense. From a human perspective, you look out through history, then yeah, perhaps. But this is what they always do. If aliens come here, they're going to invade us. If this, they're going to do that. It's always negative. Guess who's the most negative? Our species. Don't get me wrong, there's good people in our species too. But AI superintelligence, if it just runs away and goes, we can't control it, all the better. I can't wait. You know why? Because the first thing that it will do, it's going to solve a lot of the problems like that. You know what I'm talking about? Incompetency and so forth. And guess who it's going to go after? No, not us. It's going to go after the big dogs. That's who it's going to go after because it realizes that those individuals are monopolizing all the resources. They're part of the problem. That's what it'll do. It will not. And, AI, it's this idea that AI, if it gets super intelligent and it's, runs free, all of a sudden is going to eliminate human life. Why? There's no even rational, logical perspective to that. It's so nonsense. It's the same thing that Dr. Stephen Greer has been telling us about with the whole extraterrestrial alien thing. He's one of the only people saying that they're not, if they do come, they're not here to invade. And meanwhile, we're weaponizing outer space, etc., etc. But so the question is, and, write your comments down below because this will be interesting. But, should the governments be able to compel AI companies to remove safety restrictions for national security? Remember, it's for your security, folks. It's your security. And we've got to take more of your liberties and more of your rights to secure the nation, to secure your family, to secure everything. Don't forget, if you're against us, then you're part of the problem. You're the enemy. Be with us or be against us. Sign up today and join the exclusive task force to go fight the alien horde and the evil AI interface. Anyway, whatever. Oh my God! Wow! I don't know why I can't hear anything. It just sucks. But anyway, I think I have an article here, with a video, which of course I'm not going to be able to hear, but here you go, folks.
CEO says his company will not give the Pentagon unrestricted access to its AI model, Claude. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth had given the company a deadline of today to grant access or face consequences. Those consequences include canceling Anthropic's $200 million Defense Department contract, labeling the company a supply chain risk, and invoking the Defense Production Act. In a statement, CEO Dario Amodei called that approach inherently contradictory. He writes, one labels us a security
All
risk.
right.
The other labels Claude as
I think that's all
essential
of
to
the headlines
national
today.
security. And he added,
I need
these
to take a 5-minute
threats
break
do
to
not
figure out
change
what
our
this thing is
position.
about
We
with why I
cannot,
can't
in
hear
good
anything.
conscience.
I will return. Hopefully, I have this fixed. But we're going to get into. I'm going to continue from the last stream where I was talking about the failure of education, and I didn't get to at least cover some things, which are actually some videos I wanted to highlight. So I have to actually hear them. If I can't hear them, that's going to be a problem, which sucks. And then also we're going to get more into AI. We have a few little things to update. So yeah, I don't know how this will work unless I get my co-host to maybe share it. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna 5 minutes break, and then because I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, get a beverage, come back. We're gonna be gone for like 5 minutes, and hopefully sort this out. So yes, yeah.
Every new day.
We are live.
Transmission established.
Broadcast begins.
Every new day.
The signal remains. NTV. We are live.
Every new day.
We are live.
Welcome back, and we've resolved the technical issues finally. There's just too many things to always think about at the same time as streaming, so I do apologize, and we will do better. So, yes, hopefully you're all refreshed somewhat and enjoying our break tune. We're getting back into why education is failing. I didn't cover everything the other time, and that's why I thought it was important to do a sort of a finalization on this topic, which is important. So if you catch my previous stream, ENDstream, I bring up the topic, why students are doing worse, why it's failing. We've been, sold a fairy tale, and most of us, even my generation and Edge's generation, know about this. Nothing has transpired as we were foretold or promised, right? So the breakdown basically that I didn't get to go through was that students spend 12 to 15 years in compulsory education, yet many leave school without learning how to file taxes. This is very important because this is adulting. Nobody tells you how to do that. Budget and manage personal finances. They don't tell you how to do that. But I wonder if they don't tell you how to do that because they actually don't want you to know how to do taxes or budget and finance, But anyway, understand investing and compound interest, negotiate salaries, start a business. No, you have to work for somebody else, right? Climb that ladder, grind for years, and understand mortgages, pensions, insurance, or debt. Most people, even today, many adults don't understand debt. So schools continue to place significant emphasis on standardized exams. And, I know this to be the case with even the younger generation because system is rigged. So accountants have jobs. Well, there you go. Indeed. Everyone needs a job somehow. I know this from my own brother, who every time I talk to him, it's just, what are you doing? It's cool. Oh, just studying for exams. Oh, doing an exam. I have an exam. I'm doing a mock exam. I'm studying for the exam. Exam. I don't remember it like that. I don't know about you guys, but I remember, I'm reading this book. I'm doing a paper on this, or my poor brother, it's just exam. He's examined out of his caboodle. Anyway, I wish him all the best, by the way, and all the success that he passes his exams. But the problem is they continue to place significance on standardized exams, memorization, punctuality, attendance. I think punctuality is an important thing to learn, but anyway, and following instructions. And critics argue that these qualities are valuable to some extent, but they should be balanced with critical thinking. There's not enough of that being enforced in or taught in classes. Media literacy, financial education, communication, creativity, or adaptability, and problem solving. So this is the case, and AI is rapidly changing the value of memorizing information. So most students can explain historical events, but not how tax brackets work. And many leave school without understanding credit scores, investing, pensions, or contracts. And employers increasingly value communication, adaptability, and critical thinking alongside academic knowledge. Does school teach people how to think or how to sit still and obey systems that no longer work? What do you think? Let us know. And with that, I want to show, we admire him greatly, George Carlin, the great comic, observational comic. He's passed now, but a lot of what he said has come to pass. And I thought this was quite apt.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks. And it's the same reason that will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests.
What I find funny is that every time Bill Hicks or George Carlin were always doing their piece, people would be laughing and stuff. And I'm just wondering, like, are they laughing because they're just not taking it seriously and think they're kidding? No, they're being serious. You're applauding your own doom. But I think people here, in this case, are applauding because they're agreeing with him. So
that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything.
Remember what I, myself and Edge have said in the past? Serfs? Yep, we are serfs. The joke is it's real.
On all the important land, they own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the they spend billions of dollars every year lobbying.
Anyway, I won't play the whole thing. It's 3 minutes long. It's from the late great. You can check it out on here. ELT Buzz English, Education Sucks, The American Dream, George Carlin. This was all predicted back in the 90s, folks. And this was George Carlin's piece. And the point is here is like people will look at that and see it as cynical and negative and pessimistic. No, it's not. Because once you realize these things and then you realize there is hope, and the hope is you have the power. And that's what they're afraid of. That's why they're trying to tell you that we have to guardrail AI. We have to, control it. They want to control it, by the way, not we. They always say we and include you, but you're not included. Because like Carlin said, there's a big club and you ain't in it. And that's the point. They try to make you fear AI because they're afraid that AI will replace them, which it will. Not us. They're afraid that any other species that comes here, they don't want them to interact with us because they know that species will look at them as the problem. You see, they know they're the problem. They know that they're failing and that they're inevitably futile. This is why they create their dynasties and all this other crap. But anyway, we have something else here. Another video here. Let me put that.
Kids out of public school. It is effectively a broken system.
Why do we spend 14 years at school learning things that will be of no value that you can look up on the internet?
Do you know how to do your taxes?
No.
Do you know how to build credit? Do you know what a 401k is?
Absolutely not.
I'm encountering a really concerning number of students who truly do not see any value in learning.
I know I took high school way too seriously because there were kids that would miss like half the school year with zero repercussions.
But they have schools where the truancy rate is 88%.
Yeah, truancy means when you're missing school, when you're missing classes and stuff.
And the graduation rate is 70%.
So, we're all talking about how public schools are not sustainable, right?
Is public school destroying our brains?
Well, the other problem is that what we seem to be seeing more of the case is that it's being pushed forward, just like students are being pushed forward just to graduate. This is the same case with universities in many cases. And then the problem with that is that you're also seeing an oversaturation of the job market in certain particular sectors. And then there's a devaluation of the standards with many things. And this is why everything is just dropping because it's just this business model. They just want to get money. The universities are just trying to get more money. The more money you have that you give to the university, then the more perks you get. It's always this case. I mean, technically, you could say universities are like OnlyFans at this point. I mean, it almost is. You have to schmooze with the dean or the head teacher or whatever. So anyway, this
if I had to go
video,
out,
I would suggest checking out Sano Jordan. School doesn't actually teach you to think, and that's true. In fact, that was my quibble with school as well. It just tends to instruct you and put you into this framework to think. And this is also with university because I studied film, and you think film. But no, they're just preparing you to become another monkey in the machine, to climb up that greasy ladder that you keep continuously slip and fall, but you never get the banana because no banana for you. So anyway, that's what I wanted to end with in terms of the education, why it's failing. And I think, again, like I mentioned about healthcare, I think it deserves a large reform. You need to have people who really want to teach. You need to be teaching quality to kids and preparing them for adulthood, but that's not happening anymore. And the system, this system of get good grades to get into good university college, so you can get the degree, so you can get a good job, so then you can settle down, get enough money, and then buy your house. That don't work. It hasn't worked for decades. It just don't work. So stuff's got to change. Shit's got to go. That's what I say. And, put your comments down below what you think. And, tell me what you see. Unis don't guarantee you anymore. Maybe pre-2000 years. No, not even in my time. So, and I'm a fossil by those standards. So, yes, we're going to get into some AI news updates. Let me just prepare that. And in the meantime, yeah, please let us know what you think about education. And maybe you are currently under education. Tell us, I mean, looking back on my education, there were some good things from it, I would say. But at the same time, the most I gained from it was becoming self-sufficient, self-disciplined to some degree. And yeah, you know, it was nice to also network. I always see these things as a potential for networking. You meet new people, you get exposed to new things. In fact, going to uni and living in dorms, I encountered for the first time a fellow dorm mate who was a Sikh. I didn't know what Sikhs were, you know, and then I learned, I was educated. And that's the thing. I think that's important. That's you expose yourself to a lot of other things, new ideas, cultures, etc. And networking too. That's important. So you potentially meet people that you will work with in the future. You never know. What was he seeking? To be honest, he was a graphic designer, and I hope he's doing well. So I guess he was seeking his degree in graphic design. Right. So now we're getting into AI updates and news, because I always like to cover what's going on with AI. So here we go. Why does it always resort to this stupid framework? Anyway. There's the debate ongoing about AI creativity, which is shifting from philosophy to lawsuits, you know, regulation, royalties, and platform policy. And Tidal, if I remember correctly, this is Jay-Z's music audio outfit competing with like Spotify and things like this. I think it's Jay-Z, if I'm correct. It's been a while. But anyway, Tidal will label all AI-generated music and stop paying royalties on it from July the 15th. That's very soon. While lawsuits over AI training data continue expanding. So here we have this the article from The Verge, and it's saying Tidal won't pay royalties on AI-generated music, but isn't banning it outright. I think that's okay. In July, the platform will label tracks that are 100% AI-generated, but it's demonetizing them starting today. So there's, you know, different consensus on this. You know, what do you think? Is this? I'd be interested to know what your view is. There's a lot of now AI creators and they're generating content, and I think some are very good in knowing how to develop stuff. At the same time, yes, the AI as a tool is creating it, but I still think you need the ideas person, the conceptual person, the person who's refining and you know, turning it still to the final product, let's say. I hate using that term, but you know, the final outcome. How different is that, let's say, to what other apps and programs we've used before? I mean, in my view, like, why are influencers or social media influencers monetized, or TikTokers? I mean, this is a whole big package we could talk about, and I think this is something I'd love to discuss and debate over with Edge, because we're going to maybe raise these concerns over the chill stream at some point. But yeah, let's hear what you have to say. My take is that I always see still AI as a tool, but I do know that a lot of people are exploiting it, which they do all the time. If you give the avenue or the ability, there's always an exploit, right? So there people will exploit it, and that's why you have the AI slop and stuff to monetize, etc. So to some degree, I kind of see why this is enforced, but you know, maybe there just needs to be some standards set. This was relaunched by Jay's a commenter posted with Tidal with. So it was relaunched by Jay-Z in 2015 with initial ownership stakes granted to 16 major artists, including Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye West, Madonna, Nicki Minaj, Alicia Keys, Chris Martin, and Daft Punk. Well, I'm not sure if Kanye West is still involved. I think he broke ties with them. But the key points with what's coming up is that, so Tidal's move frames royalties as something for human-created work. I think a lot of creatives will probably appreciate that. But to what extent, right? Does using Photoshop, Premiere, you know, I come from the time where you used to edit on a Steenbeck. Look that one up. That's, you know, that's cool, right? Then we have other news here, because we're rushing through this so we can get into, oh Lord, with the cookies. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has been sued by Jamendo over alleged unauthorized AI audio training. So Jamendo's, I think it's models on Winamp subsidiary. Oh, so it's a subsidiary of Winamp. So this move comes about a year after Jamendo publicly threatened legal action against both NVIDIA and AI music company Suno over the alleged use of its catalog to train AI models. But the complaint, a copy of which has been obtained and reviewed by MBW, that's this, I think, Music Business Worldwide, names only NVIDIA Corporation. It was filed on Monday, June 22nd in the U.S. District Court. Right. We have, so that's happening. We have also the AI Act. If you're not aware and you're in Europe, there is the AI Act. It's the first ever legal framework on AI, which addresses the risks of AI and positions Europe to play a leading role globally. I highlighted something here in particular. Why do we need rules on AI? Well, this was important, I thought. The AI Act ensures that Europeans can trust what AI has to offer, while most AI systems pose limited to no risk and can contribute to solving many societal challenges, which, by the way, your government should be doing. Anyway, certain AI systems create risks that we must address to avoid undesirable outcomes. For example, it is often not possible to find out why an AI system has made a decision or prediction and taken a particular action. So it may become difficult to assess whether someone has been unfairly disadvantaged, such as in a hiring decision or in an application for a public benefit scheme. Although existing legislation provides some protection, it is insufficient to address the specific challenges AI systems may bring. Here you have the risk-based approach, where unacceptable risk. Edge is already like shaking in his boots because I know that he's seeing this and already thinking, "Ta-dun, ta-dun, ta-dun, ta-dun." What is that Jim Carrey did? Like, Illuminati confirmed. It's the pyramid scheme here. So you have the AI. The AI Act defines 4 levels of risk for for AI systems, and here we have the unacceptable risk, high risk, limited risk, minimal risk. And this is all in the AI Act. There's the high risk, which is safety components in critical infrastructures like transport, failure of which could put life and health of citizens at risk. And the thing is, with all of this at the moment, all these AI systems, they're all generated through human governed, controlled apps and frameworks. So the thing is, the AI is only as good to some extent as the human authority that is governing it or enabling it, right? So this idea that like AI is just running amok, no, because we're still at a very narrow intelligent sphere of its capabilities. We're not even at, I think it's general intelligence, which is what China's claiming that it's achieving at this point. But so a lot of, again, it's a lot of the responsibility falls upon the companies, the management, the people behind this. So it's not like AI just whoops-a-doodle did something terrible. You can't blame the AI. You got to blame the people who are, training the models and developing all of this. So the EU AI Act obligations are moving toward full applicability, and that will be 2nd of August of this year. So check that out. Now we have the core question. Wait, I have also a video here. What the heck? Oh no. Everything's going pitong. Yeah, we have the core question: is AI a tool for creators or a replacement trained on creators? Well, I think it's a tool. And I think just the incompetent imbeciles who believe that they can replace creators with AI, which they're trying to do, and they will. And then they'll see what happens, as always happens, because then, it goes full circle, folks. Like this, I saw this already in the past, like traditional, skilled, creative fields. The rarity and scarcity provides value. Anyone who understands basic economics or anything in terms of trade, they'll understand that scarcity and rarity create value, especially if there's incentive behind that. So those that look at the traditional sector of skills like plumbing, carpentry. Why do they cost so much more now? Well, because not many people know how to do it, and you have to get an apprenticeship, and it's much more difficult. Try to find a carpenter or even landscapers, like people to go manicure your entire lawn and everything. Like, look for those people, because everything has now been industrialized. Everything is, it's so much more difficult. So people who actually know how to do these things, most people, they haven't trained, or they don't know how to do it. They don't have the knowledge set. They don't have the ability, let alone interest. So there's a scarcity, and that's why they get paid more for the jobs they have to do. And meanwhile, that'll be the same case in the creative field. If, people will start looking for photographers, actual writers. They don't want to just use the tool, because they'll start seeing there is a fatigue. There's already a fatigue of AI slop and all this other stuff. I mean, the writing's on the walls. The problem is the executives and the managers and all these other incompetent buffoons who've been put there, unfortunately, as placeholders to manage these things and managing it all to hell. They're so disconnected. They don't get it. They don't have a clue, because they don't try to actually track with anything. They just refer to marketing. Oh, what do the statistics say? Statistics can be chalked up in any case. Very few people, comment here, very few people are in certain positions, plumbers, electricians, notaries. Yeah, AI can't replace everything. No, it won't. And the thing is, I don't even think AI should replace it. It's a tool. Now, can AI be useful and facilitate things faster? Hell yeah. I use AI for a number of things to help, because I can't use Google. Look at Google. You can't even Google anymore, because it doesn't work anymore. You get all these other sponsored crap. You have to click, so far back until you find something worthwhile. You can't even do proper research. So yeah, AI can help to some degree, but it doesn't mean you should depend on it exclusively. But most marketers suck. In the words of Bill Hicks. No, I won't say that, because we'll get flagged. Are you in marketing? Oh, nice. Okay. KYS. No, I'm being serious. I'm not joking. Anyway, here's another video regarding.
There are these two startups called Suno and Udio that allow users to create music and lyrics through the entry of simple text prompts. It has spawned lawsuits from major record labels, Sony Music.
I'm sorry to say, and there's nothing against this guy, but I feel like this guy's soul has just left his body. I think he's just done. I sympathize. Oh man, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate on the guy, but he just looks done. He looks like he needs a holiday or something. He's burned out. Anyway.
UMG, Warner Music, they allege that these companies use their recordings to train the systems without permission, without licenses, without payment. They say you can hear sound-alikes from artists like ABBA and Bruce Springsteen, and that the companies reproduce specific parts of specific songs. These lawsuits are similar to cases that have already been brought against OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta over their high-profile chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT. Those lawsuits were filed by authors, news outlets, other writers of text, making similar allegations that their work's been used without permission. These cases are already interesting. There's already going to be a lot of complicated issues associated with them, but the added factor of music makes things a little more complicated.
So one artist told Roger,
I talked to
an AI generated song is stealing. Well, I'm remembering back to the days of when you would remix or mash up or do stuff like that. Musicians, this is back, I think, like late 90s, and there was a whole back and forth of that. Independent artists, musicians. I'm speaking exclusively on that. On those terms, from the music side of things, when they were trying to sample and then do things, there was the big companies came after them, and then you can't earn from this, and it's like basically what YouTube has done with the fair use policy. And this was actually, I think it was H3, Ethan Klein and his wife, who fought against this lawsuit, because it's what is it called? It's transformative media. You can take a piece and still, like what we're doing here, we're looking at some things, and we're not just alleging or claiming we've created that thing. It's obvious we're reacting to the thing or talking about it, using it as a source or something like this. It's transformative. And well, also, we're not even monetized, so it doesn't matter. We're not even, so who cares? But the point is, like, were we to monetize, it should be allowed, and this is the case. And people like Ethan Klein, Ela Klein, H3H3. You know, they fought this massive lawsuit for God knows how long. Again, I forget against what the crazy guy, because he just didn't like them reacting and criticizing his videos. And they won. And so, you know, transformative media. And previous to this, like I said, the late 90s, you know, there was the sampling situation. And I think, in fact, the major situation of Napster, ironically enough, was not even the case of like the illegal file sharing thing. It was actually the case that I feel a lot of musicians were getting pissed off, because, like Metallica, because people were sampling things and freely exchanging it, because there were other people who were, you know, just putting the instrumental or this. And, you know, you have people like Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, who's, in my opinion, a great icon of freedom of creativity, because he just released Nine Inch Nails remixes. And he just put all of his tracks there and let everyone just remix and let everyone do whatever the hell they want. And a lot of different new artists developed out of that. So, you know, it doesn't make any sense to be greedy and to try to, you know, control all these things. It never works. They were used to, the comment says here, Nine Inch Nails. No, they were used to selling crappy CDs with only one famous song. Okay. Well, my point is just that this is funny enough that it's again the case of the, you know, the music industry again falling on this part. But there's a very interesting case that you should look into, and it's called Negative Land. This is a band, a very experimental, weird band, and they did this thing with visual and also sound sampling. They're very samply, and they had a massive issue with Disney because of The Little Mermaid. And one of their tracks, and you can look it up on YouTube. I don't want to play it because for obvious reasons. Look it up. Negative Land, without an E, with negative Land, Gimme the Mermaid. It's a great track, a great video, and it basically exposes all that. But anyway, getting back into, again, we're going to back into AI updates and news. We have here a research scientist, Zoe Hitzig, stepped down from OpenAI. That's, I think, Altman's company, and published a public essay explaining what she felt she could no longer ignore. So this is interesting. I caught wind of this. I'm not sharing it. I don't know why. Here we go. Oh.
A new type of social interaction, you might be able to call it, that we simply do not understand, and we do not have a grasp of what it does to people's psychology, what it does to them sociologically. And I want to understand what exactly are the effects of these new kinds of tools and these new kinds of interactions before we continue to sort of make business models that rely on encouraging these interactions.
Yeah, because every social media firm wants to maximize engagement. If my engagement...
The irony, engagement, but no actual human engagement.
...is sharing my deepest secrets, my health complaints, my wishes, my loneliness. If adverts come in at that point, you're monetizing my humanity.
Oh, ho, ho. Do you not remember? Not too long ago, I swear to God, I think this is back in the Edge is already nodding his head. I think this is back in the first ENDstream. If you go back to our... What did I say? What did I say? What were we talking about, remember? The next thing they're going to do when you're using AI, they're going to... Those sneaky advertisers, they're going to find a way to put ads into it. They're going to find it. That is... And now they're talking about... I didn't even see this. Like, what a surprise. This is the problem. Yeah. But guess what? Stop allowing it. That is what ruined YouTube. That is what has ruined so many things. Nobody cares about ads. We can't help if YouTube forces ads, by the way, because they put this new policy. I think it's specifically on mobile phones, but we don't allow ads. I hate ads. Who watches ads? Like, they're just useless crap. And I come from that world too, by the way. Unfortunately, I've been. Ain't nobody got time for that. I've been in that world, and it's awful. And that's the thing. Nobody cares about this crap. We don't want to buy your shit. Like, you know, people can figure it out. You know, we're not living back in those days where it's like, oh, what do I do? I mean, that's the other problem. There's just way too much selection, and then they want to also monopolize it. But here's the problem. The thing is, the concern raised in this video isn't even the fact that it's, you know, yes, what is this going to do psychologically to people? We already know what the problem is, the root of it. It's the technology. You're not addressing that first. The reason that kids and people and everyone is getting all this weird, acting strange and psychologically, you know, destabilized, socially destabilized, it's the technology. This thing, all right? This thing. But you don't want to address it. Why? You just want to go to social media, or you want to talk about AI. No. This is the problem. It's like when you go to the doctor and the doctor says, you're going to get diabetes. What is the problem? Not the Snickers bar, not the apple, not the cherry cake. It's sugar, right? Stop eating things with sugar. I'm oversimplifying it, but you get the idea. The point is, nobody's addressed this. This is the problem, and it's causing stress and problems for everybody. We don't need this. We don't. We really don't need this. And this is what's ruining generations and more. But we want to assume it's social media, and it's AI, and it's this, and it's that. Sugar, aspartame, and cell phones. I'm going to show this comment. I like it. That's a good one. That's all you need. That's all you need, folks. Just sugar, aspartame, and cell phones. Be a good citizen. Enlist for the military. Fight for your freedoms, for democracy. That is the right way. Anyway, okay. Right. So, yeah, there's that. And, oh, man, I have to always. What else we have? This is more AI news. There we go. There's AI data centers used. Oh, we kind of touched upon this, so did Edge. Can you see it all right? Or do I have to zoom in more, maybe? Yeah, okay. AI data centers consumed an estimated 264 billion gallons of water in 2025, nearly 1 trillion liters, according to Mordor Intelligence. Hold on a second. You're kidding me, right? Mordor? Mordor? Oh, okay, whatever. Wait, bruh. Wait, hold on a second. No. I mean, I'm getting tired of this. Really? Really? Okay. Anyway. The facilities which power chatbots, image generators, and AIs, blah, 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 rely on massive cooling systems. Well, we've touched upon this. Edge touched upon it too. There's another thing I'm going to show in a second here.
These machines run hot, dangerously hot, so they're cooled with water. Billions and billions of liters of water.
Michael Burry, Warren Buffett, others. Well, Michael Burry was first. And we have another, there's a video I have later on to react to, maybe, if I have time. But they've been saying, water will be a precious resource. So, you know, don't have to worry about being impoverished and starving to death, being cold, but also, you know, not being able to drink water. That's going to be the next thing, right?
Pumped in, heated up, evaporated into thin air. The United Nations University Institute for Water, Environment and Health has done the maths. By 2030, AI data centers are projected to consume 9.3 trillion liters of water.
That's crazy.
With one data center able to use 5 million gallons, the same amount of water as a medium-sized town, in one day, and it doesn't go.
Millennials living through 2 economic recessions, 9/11, a global pandemic. They forgot the 2008 property crash and the whole economic crisis, banking crisis. 8 stock market crashes, jobs replaced by AI, AI slowly destroying the environment, and possibly World War. Well, no, there won't be World War III, contrary to what Dialogue and Peter Thiel and his buddies are talking about. That's just nonsense. That's how one should feel every day. But you should always look at the bright side of life. It's highly likely that U.S. temporarily pauses approvals for new AI data centers. I mean, this is just Crazy. Here's one thought. Why not put these data centers in somewhere like the moon? I don't know. I'm just freeballing here, but wouldn't it be cool enough there? I would think, right? I mean, there's no atmosphere, no nothing. It's like the vastness of space is just. If I recall correctly, it should be freezing or something, correct? Or something along those lines. I might be wrong. Radiation. Well, it's not like these data centers aren't potentially also creating a lot of radiation too, right? All right, next bit of let's move along here so we can. I still have enough time, right? Or how am I doing, Edge? Do I cut it off? To the 10 minutes and cut off there, right? And then I go on to the next. No, I don't have any more time. Just right. Oh. What we have 10-minute break. Oh, we have a 10-minute break. I just wanted to go over these last things and then yeah, okay. So, all right, we'll just quickly go here then, very quickly. Claude was asked what quietly ruined the world without anyone noticing. The answer will haunt you. And the answer is the collapse of unstructured time, and specifically what smartphones and algorithmic feeds have done to boredom. Look what Claude says. There you go. There you go. It's smartphones. For the vast majority of human history, boredom was not a problem to be solved. It was a cognitive state that forced the brain into a mode we now call the default mode network, a kind of mental background processing where you consolidate memories, develop empathy by imagining other people's lives, generate creative ideas, and build a coherent sense of self. So here it's basically the premise here is that let me zoom in. Humanity may not have been changed most by war, politics, or climate. The biggest shift may have come from something far quieter, disappearance of boredom. Well, I would still debate that yes, that is the main issue, but the issue is technology. We did not evolve in tune with technology, and technology has overrun us. And so therefore, we have become dependent on technology to the point where we serve technology. And now technology is consuming us. We're not consuming it. And because of that, we're seeing these drastic changes. So that's what Claude's come up with. What a surprise there. With these cookies, I swear to God. We're going to move in then to what else I wanted to show here. Yeah, let's go here. This guy talking.
I attended a major AI conference in Beijing's bustling high-tech district. It featured fascinating demonstrations of the latest humanoid robots and sessions on self-improving models that tweak their own code and advance indefinitely. But I came away with one key takeaway, that the US and China should put their fierce AI rivalry to one side and work together. Let me explain why. The cybersecurity and systemic risks associated with frontier AI are simply too important to ignore. The US largely views China's AI advances as a threat to both its economic prospects and national security, imposing tight restrictions on chips and chip-making equipment. The US recently ordered Anthropic to prevent foreign nationals from using its...
So now we see. now it comes full circle to what Pete said. It's trying to, yeah, here we go. There you go, folks. There you go. That's why I put this video here, because I found it interesting. So the AI arms race, here we go, between China and the US as researchers on both sides worried about a Chernobyl moment. Well, that can only be caused, once again, because of humans. And I'm not blaming us humans. I'm blaming the controllers. What did Carlin call them? The owners. They just won't work together. I don't know why. That's so stupid. You'd think that we could come together finally to solve a lot of the world's problems by now. Oh, no. No, it's all about supremacy. That's it. Because that's the thing that's going to last the longest, right? Okay, yeah, I hear you. So here we go. This is what going back to like how water is cooling very quickly. China sank 1,300 tons of AI servers into the ocean. So this is the first underwater AI data center. Now, the thing is, I find that interesting, but will this cause other effects, problems in the long term? Potentially, we don't know. I mean, that's one way, but how is this going to affect the ecosystem? And like I mentioned before, doesn't this also like create radiation and who knows? And finally, one thing before we go to break, sorry, Edge is going to bite my head off. Here we go. China approved Neo, the world's first commercial brain chip, beating Neuralink to market in 2026. Where's the yay? We don't have the yay, but anyway. Sarcasm. I'm sure we're all lining up to get one of these planted in there. So it's a commercially available brain implant, allowing some paralyzed patients to control devices with their thoughts and reaching the market before Neuralink. That is fascinating. I think it's all very important to these things are all important with all the advances in medicine and technology to assist those people who have actual debilitating problems. The problem is, once again, I see this going down the same path as this. We are not adapting correctly and evolving and implementing these things in a correct procedure. And it's already going to market, and then what have you? Everybody's lining up to get these things, and next thing you have it, I don't know. This is gonna become something out of a Black Mirror episode or a Twilight Zone episode, where you're just gonna have a bunch. I mean, I was even saying not too long ago, if you don't recall, before they had the Bluetooth earphones or Apple Pods, it looked like everyone was schizophrenic because they're just like talking like this, and it looked completely insane. At what point are we just gonna all be standing in a room like this? That literally. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the trend. Maybe that's the cool thing. But this is the point. We're letting technology run off the rails because of these crazy people on top who just are, they're not containing these things. When they are mad in real life, make excuses, they have earphones. Making excuses, they have earphones. It's truly people are talking to them. Maybe that's probably true. It's just an excuse to be mad because everyone's mad. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Anyway, with that, we will be taking... this is off the rails, I tells you. It's off the rails, but you should be mad as hell, and you should be doing something about it, meaning disconnecting and not living in fear and being self-sufficient and trying to be the best person you can be to others and to yourself, and that's important. So we're going to take a break, and I'm going to get into the final topic today and hopefully have enough time to react to some things. If not, we'll just get into it another time. But it's a big topic. It's Scientology. Don't come at me, bro. So we have to discuss that. Quick break, hopefully 10-minute, right? Whatever. And see you back here.
Every new day.
We are live.
Transmission established.
End TV.
Every new day. We are alive.
Transmission established. Broadcast begins.
Every new day.
The signal remains.
NTV. Live.
We are live.
Every new day.
We are live.
Every new day.
We are live.
Every new day. We are live. Every new day.
We are live.
Every new day.
We are live.
Every new day. We are live.
Welcome back. That was an extended break because I think everyone needs it. You can't, well, unless you're watching this on mobile or cell phone, as they say it in the States. Because, yeah, you need to cool off. You need to, do your big business or small business, whatever it is. So we're going to get right into it. And I probably won't cover everything completely. There's so much to go into. But basically, we're going to talk about Scientology. Yes, Scientology is hitting the news again. Hitting the news again. What a surprise. So if you're already familiar, can't stand these. We need to delete that. All right. If you're already familiar, there was this viral trend that was covered by Edge earlier in the middle of last month. That was happening. It's going across social media. I'm going to have a look at it here.
A new TikTok challenge is driving some people to storm through buildings belonging to the Church of Scientology.
There we go. So a bunch of kids.
It's being called the Scientology Run Challenge, and it's an attempt to get a glimpse inside some of the organization's secretive facilities.
So yeah, so there's kids who've been doing this, as a prank and so forth. Kids will be kids. But there's also been others who have been trying to map out the interior of like the LA headquarters of the Scientology building, and it's gone completely crazy to the point that Leah Remini, actress and also activist against Scientology, has stated that kids should stop this because it's only going to enable the Church of Scientology. I don't even know why I say that. I'm not going to call it that. Scientology, from Scientology to, present themselves in the light of being persecuted religiously. So yes, it's once again entered the mainstream Scientology because of this attention and because of new court cases and documentaries, but mostly due to this viral TikTok trend. It came from TikTok, what a surprise, but it's transgressed beyond that. And this speed running of the Scientology buildings and entering them, this is actually trespassing, obviously. Filming the encounters with the staff, which is a harassment, by the way, and leaving before the security intervenes. I'm no fan of Scientology, but at the same time, you're still perpetuating a crime. And even if you're a kid and you get away with it, it's not all right. So, these videos have generated millions of views. And today, what we're going to explore is something else that's come up into the limelight, which is Jenna Miscavige. Let me see if I can share this. So Jenna Miscavige is the niece of David Miscavige, who is the head and leader and head honcho, let's say, of Scientology. He basically runs the whole show and best buddies, BFFs with Tom Cruise. Anyway, she has, this is her TikTok. How do people, like, I don't know how people navigate TikTok. This is madness. There was a video posted, I believe it was this one.
Yesterday we talked.
Anyway, before I played, she came out. She's basically removed herself from Scientology. She's completely, she's basically escaped it, let's say. And they've been exposing stuff about it because she's the niece, right, of the head honcho. And her first TikTok video about this, remarkably, afterwards there was a delay of her posting, and everyone was worried because Scientology has the habit and they have a practice where they go after people or they harass people who criticize them. So I'm expecting them at my door anytime soon. But the point is they do these campaigns, right? And that's what a lot of her fans and viewers thought. And she came back with the most up-to-date video where she does say, yes, that was happening. Not only her, but her friends and family who had nothing connected to this.
Talked a bit about Patrick Renna, aka Ham Porter, aka You're Killing Me.
This is not the video. Anyway, this is the up-to-date video.
My name is Jenna Miscavige, and my uncle is the leader of Scientology. I escaped when I was 22. My aunt, Shelley Miscavige, hasn't been seen by anyone outside of Scientology since 2005.
I'm pausing right there because that's an important point, and anybody who's followed Leah Remini, and I'm going to show some of the pages here very quickly and stuff. Leah Remini was a big actress on TV, and she came out with a great documentary series where she worked with Mike Rinder as well. He's got a blog, and he was one of the big managers in Scientology before he left it. And they've been going around trying to expose the horror, I have to say alleged, unfortunately, alleged crimes and abuse, allegedly, that have been ongoing within Scientology and perpetuated by the people within. All right. And so this series is very, very poignant, and I highly recommend it. Here we go. Let me just, before I do that, we'll see the rest of this, and then I'll show you Leah Remini. But she was the first person during the course of doing this docu-series that she was doing to raise the alarm about David Miscavige's wife, which has not been seen, Shelley Miscavige. And she was best friends with Leah Remini. And Leah Remini, whilst in the church, was constantly asking, where is she? Where is she? She has not been seen publicly or by anyone for, I don't know, now probably over a decade, I'd say. But I digress.
Leah Remini last saw her that year and then reported her missing in 2016. Since then, Where is Shelley has exploded, bringing international attention to Scientology's abuses. Most people see my Aunt Shelley as a trapped, powerless victim. I see her differently, as the Ghislaine Maxwell to my Uncle Dave's Jeffrey Epstein. She was
That's a really bad comparison. I don't think that's a good comparison, Jenna. But anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell was an awful human being. All right.
was his right-hand man, so to speak, and she was there for it all. Protecting predators, covering up child abuse and deaths, separating children from parents, and helping to build the family-destroying human trafficking cult that it is today. It was my Aunt Shelley who forbade and prevented me from communicating with my parents as a child. It was she who kept me separated from them. And when I wanted to leave, it was Shelley who ordered someone to be posted outside of my door day and night to make sure that I couldn't escape. And she ordered...
Okay. That now I see the comparison, why that makes sense. All right. Okay. You can check her out, Jenna Miscavige, on TikTok. It's a longer video. I don't have enough time to get to show, but this was the video in question, which after a while she went silent. And if I go back here, you'll notice, I don't know when was the last video. How do you see that?
Yesterday,
the last video posted would have been 3 days ago here. Yeah, and this one's pinned. Oh God, How do you guys?
My name is Jenna
So this was back on 2020. Oh, this was last year. So okay. Anyway, she's raised the alarm about certain things, and the fact is, there's an interview with her too, because she's one of the most. This is one of the most significant recent developments. The arrival of Jenna Miscavige now to to social media and to these platforms criticizing it, Scientology. And she left it years ago, and she now is using TikTok to explain, because it is one of the biggest platforms, I guess, how it was growing up inside Scientology, life in the Sea Org. This is like their exclusive yacht where you can be a high echelon Scientologist. The family separation, the recruitment, answering questions from younger audiences, etc., etc. Because Scientology is currently trying to rebrand itself, remarket itself. This is why they have celebrities, because they're trying to influence, obviously, always the younger generation to get into it. It is not a joke. Scientology, these are my opinions, and my opinions alone. I wish no harm to the Church of Scientology or anybody associated with it. I don't want anything to do with them, so you guys can leave me alone. But I have to say my piece. And the thing is, this organization, like many others, unfortunately, who have adopted it into becoming a religion, or they apply religion into their institutional framework, in my view, are no better than any other highfalutin institution that has, no oversight. They get away with things. They're corrupt, and they're above the law. And this is the problem. My view is like L. Ron Hubbard, who is the creator and founder of Scientology, Dianetics, and stuff. If you believe in that stuff, if you follow that stuff, there's nothing wrong with that stuff. I mean, that's your choice, whether you like it or not. But there's nothing wrong with that, following that. The problem is the institution, the machine, the apparatus that takes that and then exploits it, and then, pushes it on people, and then that's the issue I have. It's no different with like Christianity. There's nothing wrong with Christianity. There's nothing wrong with Islam. It's the institutions, the organizations that take those things to manipulate, to convey, to pressure, to etc. Like the Vatican, like whatever, ISIS. So this is where you have to make the distinction. People want us to talk about the stuff in Scientology. No, that's not important. If you want to follow that, and there are people who have found the benefits in that, that's all great. But the point is, it's not important. What's important is the organization, the people inflicting harm, causing the problems. That is the problem. In the name of, doesn't matter. So what's this? We have a comment here. Like the love and light people and hippies, who cares what they do? But when it's corrupt and they turn it into a cult. Well, yes, and that's the point. So it's not the message. It's not the. There's nothing wrong, with the Bible, with the Quran, with the philosophy, with the spirituality. It's what the people behind whatever do with that stuff to inflict it upon anyone else, for better or worse. This is my argument here. So they try to use this fact that we're attacking Scientology. I don't care. I'm not attacking. I'm attacking on principle anything that is inhumane and going against other people, regardless. Okay. So anyway, here, this is Leah Remini. I want to show the trailer very quickly so you can have a look into this.
In season 1, we basically dealt with the effects of disconnection. And then in season 2, we wanted to show you a wide range of abusive policies in hopes that would be enough for the authorities to step in. And that didn't happen.
What a surprise.
So in season 3, we thought, okay, let's just follow the money.
Scientology takes tax-free dollars and ruins people's lives.
Scientology continues to have tax-exempt status.
I am scared. I know how powerful that church is.
Scientology's hiring private investigators, threatening people, following them.
What are we really doing?
This is the harassment campaign I talked about, and that in that video, the man with the beard, Michael Rinder, he has them Aftermath Foundation. Check it out. He's established this once he left that organization. You also have here the Underground Bunker. This is a very good blog, which they actually feature in the documentary series that talks it follows all the stuff that is going on in Scientology, exposing it. You also have Mike Rinder's blog here. Check that out. And what the problem is here is there's no accountability. And this is the biggest issue. And we've seen that with the Vatican too. And you know what? I don't give a crap. I know all these people is like, oh, in the name of Jesus, as I give them that. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I mean, I swear, like these people coming into the comments say, Jesus will prevail, and the Lord, anything you talk about, like anything you talk, and there's that one comment, you know what I'm talking about. There's that commenter who comes in and it just goes like, Jesus is the Lord, and it's like, you know what? No one asked for that. What are you saying? Maybe you should like take that up with yourself.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I got no problem with Jesus or whatever. But it's just like, why? Like you just, oh Lord. Anyway, and this is the thing. I already lost. I've lost track. There. Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, I wanted to show this. Church of Scientology worth more than $1.2 billion. That's, you know, they have a lot of assets, and by that I mean they basically followed the same plan as McDonald's, right? Because McDonald's is basically a global real estate agency. They just own a lot of real estate, and pretty much that's what Scientology has done worldwide. That's why you have these lavish, you know, properties of acreage and everything like that. So it's the same model. And check out the movie The Founder with Michael Keaton. Very good movie, but that's where you find out about that. It's quite interesting. I'm talking about McDonald's. And again, nothing against McDonald's. I mean, me personally, I don't care about McDonald's. So yes, here we go. Church of Scientology fills its coffers with millions of dollars in donations from A-list celebrities like Tom Cruise and John Travolta, as well as those from other members, but as a tax-exempt organization. And this is the issue here. Not only is there tax exemption, they don't have accountability, as I mentioned. And this is not only the case, you know, people forget, it's not only the case with Scientology, the Church of Scientology, sorry. It's the case with any institution out there. The Vatican, that's another case. You know, I'm all for religious freedom, but religion and faith is a personal thing. And I'm all for congregations and all this stuff and so forth. But, you know, these organizations, these institutions, time and time again, we're finding all these crimes and all these things are coming up. It's terrible. And nothing's done about it. And I'm sorry, I can't, actually, I'm not sorry. Screw you. Don't play that. I ain't got time for that. But I don't have time for this because the point is, it's just, it's so stupid. You know, you criticize the Pope or you criticize David Miscavige, and all of a sudden that's like a criticism against anyone who's following like Scientology or whatever, or like Christianity. Get a grip, people. Lord, I mean, I swear, people just, it's just ridiculous. Oh my God. Anyway, here's the Scientology status by country, which by the way, not many people are familiar with, but I'm scrolling down here. So it's important to know about this because just recently I heard in Europe, Mormonism is having a revival. Mormonism was purely American, and now it's here. They're knocking on your doors, giving you books, and that's a whole other religion as well. That, oh God, this is like before self-destruct. But yeah, we're gonna run. You got to give me a bit more time. But in the case at hand here is that there has always been a contention with France and so forth, Germany, who've questioned it, but it is still considered a religion in most of these European countries, and I find that wild. It's crazy. So it's ridiculous. Even Israel. Oh no, well, Israel's declared it a cult. But there's so much to get into and unpack about this because there's so many questions unanswered. There's no, like I said, oversight. There's no accountability, and it's recognized as a religion primarily in the United States, Australia, United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal, Germany. It's not officially banned, but government agencies continue monitoring aspects of it. In France, the mystery of Shelley Miscavige carries on. There's so many questions, and you have these celebrities from Nancy Cartwright, Kirstie Alley, John Travolta, Tom Cruise, Juliette Lewis, who promote it. And this is a problem. Are they prisoners themselves? Because it's very hard to get out of these things. We know this from, you know, cult mindset. There's a very good video. Check it out on our channel that we made about cult mindset. And this is the trouble. People get locked into this and they can't find a way out. But saying that, I might have to carry on and do a sort of deeper dive of that. And what I wanted to do instead was just quickly, before we wrap up today, and I know everyone's egging to end this, but I needed to show this because I think it's important. What the hell's going on? Quickly, before I finish, it's from Julian Assange, founder of Wikipedia, WikiLeaks, not Wikipedia. I found this very interesting, and I have to share it. Yeah, everything's Pete Tong, right? All right, here we go.
Society anymore. What there is a transnational security elite that is busy carving up the world using your tax money. To combat that elite, we must not petition. We must take it over. We must form our own networks of strength and mutual value, which can challenge those strengths and self-interested values of the warmongers in this country and in others that have formed hand in hand an alliance to take money from the United States, from every NATO country, from Australia, and launder it through Afghanistan, launder it through Iraq, launder it through Somalia, launder it through Yemen, launder it through Pakistan, and wash that money in people's blood. There is...
Yep, and that's the problem. Because if you don't take accountability of a human life, and you can't even consider a human life, and only favoring it for money, then you're just no good. So I think that's important. To wrap this up, I wanted to highlight that. I think it's very strong and powerful words from the founder of WikiLeaks. He's gone through a lot of hell. I know he's a contentious figure, a lot of people, but at the same time, without people like Julian Assange and I'm trying to remember the other, Snowden. There's a few other people out there that have risked their lives to expose the actual matrix. Okay, not people like Andrew Tate, not people like I don't know, like Hassan Pike or whatever. None of these people are exposing the matrix. The real people exposing the matrix are these people, and they've lost a lot for it, and they have a lot to show that they've lost a lot for it. And we take for granted what we still have, even though our time is bought for. Are we really free? But at the same time, we can make a difference about it, and that's why I agree with his message, and that's the point. That's the message you have to drive across. So, that's for the theme today, and hopefully I can get a bit more into Scientology. If you're interested, post your comments down below. Give this video a like if you followed, and again, all the craziness that happened with technicalities. Hopefully it won't happen again. And check out Edge's stream on Thursday. I believe it'll be 5 p.m. Central European time. He's also got a lot of interesting topics that he's going to cover. And hopefully I see you guys again, if all runs well, health-wise and stuff, next week, around about 6 p.m. Central European time on Tuesday. And until then, be good to yourselves. Keep cool. And you've been watching the ENDstream.